Welcome back to Wormhole Extremists, you filthy animals. I don't know where that came from. I'm David Reed. I'm with Yvie Cahill and Nicole Rodriguez Galdo. And we're coming at you today with Descent and Frozen.
Yes.
Very
You could have at
excited.
least made your intro like you filthy ghouls or something.
Yeah,
Like
you
you
went
could
like
have made it a bit
Christmas.
more Stargate related. You
And
I don't
didn't
know.
say
Halloween.
I feel
Christmas.
it's so warm in this room, even though it's cold outside. I'm getting Christmas vibes. I'm starting to pull out my.
Oh, it's an
But
Australian
it's not
Christmas.
Halloween.
I
What is
know.
going
I'm
on?
kind of skipping over my Halloween like house decorations this year. Outside of the house, my mother came over and did like the whole like front of the place up. She did a great job, but I just didn't. Yeah. Anyway, how y'all doing?
Didn't get into the spirit. Good. I think.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I never quite know how I feel this early in the
I
morning.
had to review a game for a site that I do work on, and I had to finish it, and I was like, I couldn't be asked to do another day of it, so I was up till 2 a.m. finishing.
What's the site
game.
called? It's okay to share.
Smash Jump. So I do
Smash
some
Jump.
Smash Jump. Yeah, I do some journalistic endeavors over there, and I reviewed a Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. It's coming out later on in the day, 2:30, I think, American time.
Is it based on the
it's-
game, the movie series?
Yes, it is.
Really?
Inspired by it.
Is it any
and-
good?
Scary?
I gave it a 6 out of 10, only
Ah.
because I am so well versed in the survival horror adventure that for me it wasn't like completely
It's too easy?
Yeah, it was too easy. It was too easy.
Oh,
I think that was my
okay.
issue. But I said for
Mm.
people who are just getting into survival horror, it's a great introductory game. And it respected the films and it did a good job. I did enjoy it. But
Mhm.
when it's midnight and you think you're nearly done and then it drags out for 2 more hours, you're like,
It's no
Oh.
Alien Isolation.
it's no Alien. And
Mm.
that's how people tried to get me to play it. They were like, it's like Alien Isolation. I was like, oh, I'm in. And then I was like, this is not Alien Isolation. So,
Is it first person?
yes, it is.
Interesting.
Speaking
Okay.
of, did you hear that they I think I might have said this the other day. Alien Isolation 2 has been announced. It's coming
Oh.
after over a decade of
Interesting.
poor sales.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's
You
been
know,
just
you-
a huge,
know.
cult hit. So
Yeah,
when I
incredible.
first saw the trailer for it, I was like,
Try
this is a
again.
hit.
Yeah.
You know,
So, but Evie, it's
it
just a
is
film.
franchise
but a
that
game.
needed the franchise that needed
Wow.
quality games. That's kind of been
Yeah.
lacking in them.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it was a
So-
nice
Well, there's so
thing.
many films, so
I
Yeah,
keep
you
on
might as
going
well.
back to saying to myself, I need to
Yeah.
finish it, and I haven't finished
You
it. So I
do.
may just need to
It's-
finish it with Nicole.
Yes.
Hold
It's
my
so
hand
good.
through all the dark corridors.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
scary. That's a hard game too.
Yeah,
So she
Nightmare
never
Mode
would
is
have made
fun.
it. She would never made it.
No.
So,
No.
well,
I've-
I've been
Yeah.
Sorry, you go, David.
No, please, Evie, go.
No, I was just going to say that Adam has been trying to talk me into maybe trying like the role play games, like if we did like a Stargate role play game, because we've been watching Harmon Quest. I don't know if you guys have seen Harmon Quest.
I've not.
It's a fun TV show. It's finished now. I think it only had 3 seasons, but it was Dan Harmon, but it was like D&D.
Oh,
It's
so it was
D&D,
like
but
it wasn't
was like
scripted.
no, it wasn't scripted.
He sat
but
down
they
with
do
some
turn it
friends?
into like a cartoon. So
Oh.
as they're talking, they have the cartoon like narrating the
Okay.
So you
kind
want to
of
play the
game that they're
Stargate
playing.
RPG?
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
I want to do it. I have all the stuff. I want to do it online if I can, because I don't have friends. So if you and Adam ever do decide to do it, and you want to
Okay.
include me from my side of the planet, I'll stay up however late, get up at whatever early I need to do just for you.
Because I
you
said like
know?
I'm not very strategic, and Adam's like, well, you don't really necessarily need to be strategic.
No,
You know, you can
it's
play like a
creative.
different role
You
in the
can play a
game.
different
so-
role.
Yeah.
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 You can have a
So,
character
don't have
who
to
I'm
be
like
Sam.
kind of willing to give it a go.
You can have a character who crochets and then like happens to be crocheting at the time and then uses that to like
And then
defeat a
uses
ghoul.
it as like
Yeah,
uses the
use-
pokey end of the crochet
Exact-
stick.
Oh,
Exactly, you
geez.
can hook a
As
little
a
baby
weapon.
Gould with a really big one and be like, "Hey, get off!" You know, you can see the creativity is already coming out.
So
David,
the
what you got?
next 2 Sundays we're off, right?
Correct.
that
Yeah.
the
And then-
because I will be.
And then
We'll
we're
be
back
back
at a different
November 10th.
time because the
Is
clock's
it?
changed.
Time change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a time
By
change
November
for some of
10th?
you.
Yeah, it's happening in. Oh wait, for
I
me
think
it
it's
might.
November the 17th will be our first.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure, but I can check.
I think our times change differently. That's another thing.
Yeah,
I
but
remember.
I go earlier, so
Oh,
yeah, okay, November the 3rd is when it changes.
Ah.
Wait, what? Okay. We'll deal with this offline.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a bad example.
Oh,
I'm
before we do that,
excited. It's been
one
a while
second.
since you've done that.
I'm so excited. Look what you said. What are we drinking today, Nicole? It is a ginger nut matcha latte because it's like a ginger biscuit but matcha. There you go. Carry on,
It
David.
sounds amazing. I was exposed to a product. Exposed. That sounds awful. I was presented with a product earlier this week called.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I don't really need to show it. Stroop waffles.
Oh, you've never had a
Oh,
stroop
I
waffle?
know.
I
you had
have.
ones that you
I
put-
have now.
The ones that you put on top of your coffee.
And they're
I don't
they're
drink
supposed to
coffee.
Melt. Oh well,
I just
whatever.
had one in the
Warm
car.
beverage.
It was the closest thing I can like associate it with was like a Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
Like just a cold
better.
in terms of like enjoying
Like
like, a cold
fresh.
product. I don't know about that,
Yes.
but I was very impressed.
yeah.
Wow, I've never tried.
They're everywhere
one,
in
It was
the
a
UK.
caramel one, and I was really impressed.
When you guys come over, I can get you so much stroop waffle. Let's party.
They talk about them all the time in a podcast that I listen to. Yeah, it's just like they're one of their things.
It's just,
So I am
pack it and
familiar with them,
go,
but I've
you
never
know?
eaten them.
It's
before.
Faye's
Yeah.
like one of Faye's favorite
Yeah.
snacks from every coffee shop. Should always get a stroop
Oh,
waffle.
okay.
So,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You ready for the bad
Wow.
example?
Yeah.
Stargate
And
bad
we're gonna
example?
wait a few moments for everybody to figure it
Yes,
out.
unlike
but
me
I'll
from
say
last
if I have
time.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Hey,
going
but
to
we will have
expand
our
my
moments.
screen. I'm going to expand my screen so I can have a good hard look at whatever you've drawn.
Yeah, I'm gonna really
And just
look
hope for
at
the
you,
best.
David.
There we go. You guys ready?
I'm leaning forward.
Yeah.
I'm prepared. Oh.
What the ever-living
Ah.
nonsense is this?
Okay. Is that a wormhole?
That's a great question.
Or it's a black hole, like, or it's like it's like an alternate reality hole of some kind. David, you've lost focus for a
Yeah,
second.
It's
Oh,
out
that's
of
back.
focus now. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Well, the camera,
So someone is-
that they're seeing is working. So.
Yeah, someone is upset, and then
Anthony says
they're
ripple effect.
happy.
Good guess. No.
That was my guess for a second. I was thinking about that.
but like I'm also kind of thrown by the what is on the tunic or whatever they're wearing.
Well,
There's, like, a
someone's angry
squiggly
on the
bit.
left. I think this is Atlantis because of the way their outfits have the little triangles, and that's like what. Their
Yeah, that's
coats
what I'm
have.
thinking.
I love that you can't get it right away.
David, you're a monster.
You're an evil genius. I can
I'm waiting for
tell
someone
what
in the
it
chat to
is.
get it. Dan Ben, French baguettes is not the right answer.
I feel like I need a
It
clue.
does look like French baguettes with an arrow.
I feel like this has to be Atlantis. Is the only thing that's speaking to me. And it's like, but it's not like McKay in like that one episode that I forget the name of right now.
Oh,
because
come
my brain's
on.
not
You
working.
call yourself Stargate fans. Where are
I
you
know,
people?
David,
This
you-
is not
you-
that hard.
Turd. Oh my god.
It's not like
My hands are getting tired.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, David.
Please, someone
All I
in the
can
chat,
think of what is
please
the
rescue
episode of
these
Atlantis
guys.
with all I can think of is Rodney, and then there's like alternate reality.
That's what I was saying.
Rodney.
The alternate
And
Rodney,
what's
but
that one
but,
called?
Yeah.
but one's angry and one's. Oh wait, our Rodney's angry.
Rodney's
Shoot.
angry.
Shoot, what's it called?
I can't remember the name of the episode. I'm
Oh
not
my
very
god.
good with Atlantis.
Oh my god, I can't remember the name of this.
Is it the episode though?
Is it that episode?
I'm waiting for someone in the chat to try and get it. So Jindiata said Dow of Rodney. No.
It's
Lock
not.
Watcher
That's
said
not the name
Prodigy.
of it.
No.
Yeah, it's not the name of the episode.
Prodigy's
I'm
a
gonna-
good guess. I might have guessed it.
Yeah.
Anthony says point of view. No.
I've almost got it. It's like my brain baby is like brain.
Yeah.
McKay and Mrs. Miller, Gecko Fet Web. Thank you.
Yes, of
But yes,
course.
you guys
Yes, of
did find
course.
it.
Oh, yes,
You
it
figured
was.
out.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. There's the triangles.
love
Gave
that.
it away.
Yes.
I'm glad I figured out which one it was. I'm glad I
One
figured out which
he's
one it was. My brain wasn't
angry
finding
and
it.
one
Yes.
he's friendly.
Yeah, because our McKay's angry and
Yeah.
the
And
other
the
McKay's
gate
Mr.
bridge
Positive.
goes both
Yeah.
ways.
I knew it was an alternate reality bridge. I was
Always
like,
that
something.
episode always remind. I might have said this before. It always reminds me of Red Dwarf, and whenever they had Ace Rimmer, so they have like
Yeah.
normal Rimmer and then Ace Rimmer, and who's
Yeah.
like cooler and everyone likes him,
Oh,
and
so this is
it's
not
like
been,
complete
this is not
opposite.
the first time this has been done. Okay.
No,
All right.
I mean, it tends to be quite, sci-fi.
I
Tends
think
to do
it's
that to itself.
pretty. Yeah.
One of my
No, David,
favorite.
That was an excellent drawing.
Thank
Just an FYI, you did a great
Thank
job. I really, we did figure
I
it out. We just
appreciate that.
took us a second. So
One of my favorite episodes of Sequest in season 3, so it was Sequest 2032. I forget its name, but there was a time travel episode where they go back. They fall through some kind of an event horizon from an engineering accident that the engine room just, for whatever reason, detonates this thing. They fly through and they realize that they're a day after the Cuban Missile Crisis, and they're off the coast of Florida, and the continent is burning. They can see it in the sky. So they choose to program the accident again and use torpedoes to cut a hole open in space-time a couple of days before to go through and try and stop it, because they realize maybe we're here for a reason. I loved this episode for years, and then I found a movie last week called The Final Countdown, and it's a complete ripoff.
Oh,
it's like, come on, beat for beat. Sequest didn't do it first. It's based on a film with Kirk Douglas and Martin Sheen.
Oh wow, so an oldie. Oh,
yes,
wow.
from 1980.
Inspired by.
It was such a good episode, and it's they couldn't even get that original.
Tainted. Yeah, no,
I do think that Sequest did it better, but come on, but they just picked a different crisis instead of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
They just picked anyway
something a little bit more,
little things like that eat away at your soul. All right, guys. Any other business before we get to this week's shows?
No, I am good. I'm excited.
I can't think of any. I'm just going to quickly get up my notes, though. I completely forgot to do that.
I'm sad that Descent is the first episode because I prefer it to Frozen. So I would have liked to have Descent last to look forward to one more.
Yeah.
So
I suppose we could watch them out of order, but no.
No, that's
let's not
wrong.
do that.
That's not how Stargate released. So
yeah, if you don't
doing it
like
properly.
us using decimals when we do ratings, we shouldn't watch the episodes out of order. That just sounds like something
true.
that might push you over the edge.
Just a little bit. It would be forever gnawing at me in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All of our season 6 episodes, none of them have the MGM logo opening. So if your copy does have the MGM logo, skip it in order to be precisely calibrated with our timing. But yeah,
Ready to go when you guys are.
That's what we got. Lockwatcher, Final Countdown was a great film. What's the Sequest episode name? Because it's worth the watch. Sequest.
Would you recommend watching the movie first and then
watch this by
the
itself?
episode?
You can, but it's really good on its own.
I've actually never seen Sequest. And I literally
chance.
I reference it in my notes. So
yeah, it's the best worst show that was ever made.
The best worst show. Okay.
Yeah, the writing is terrible, and I love it. So
it's a
don't ever tell
it's a
Peter
little bit
DeLuise I said that.
I mean,
Well,
I feel that way
talk to him
about
on a semi-regular basis.
Right. It's on my
gonna be
server,
hard.
Yvie, so.
I feel like Farscape is like that for me. Like sometimes it can be real doo-doo, but so much of the time it's so incredible that I'm like, it's fine, you know?
There you go. It's what
Yeah.
are you willing to put up with? All right, guys, I'm all
Exactly.
set on this end.
That
for
sounds like
Descent.
me with Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time, yeah.
Hot garbage, but I
Hot
love
garbage,
it.
but
Yeah,
fun.
I enjoyed it too. Okay, Descent in 5, 4, 3. My name is David. You're watching The Wormhole Extremists with Nicole
Hello.
and Yvie.
Hello.
And we are getting back into season 6. This is
We are.
Descent. And this is a return to the goal set. What a great idea to return to the exact mothership that we were on before.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea too.
Yeah.
So this episode was written by Malotzi and Mully, and Malotzi called it a biggie with long-term consequences for the series.
Brilliant.
A Redditor called this episode the one where Thor is the ghost in the machine, which I thought was kind of funny.
I like that. I like that.
I was looking into what this episode title translates into in a number of different countries, and I kind of found it interesting because some of the titles included Reunion, Countdown, Crash, Dive, and Emergency Landing. So
What
I thought
the
it was
hell?
kind of funny because when you look at all of the titles, they sort of accidentally give away the entire plot of the episode.
Yeah.
And another little thing, this episode was nominated for a Gemini for Best Visual Effects.
It deserves it with
So,
that,
yeah.
damn ring transportation situation.
Oh, that was a great sequence.
So
mhm,
spicy. I'm so excited to
So
get to
good.
it.
That is excellent.
I think I like this episode because it got like you get Jacob and you get Jonas out with the team, and it's like the first time
Yes.
that we're moving on from Daniel properly and like trying to get hyped in for Stargate in a new way. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
I love that slightly annoyed daughter to father expression on Sam's face.
Yeah.
I think I pull that same expression with my dad sometimes. Just let them ramble.
The way he's just slapping.
He's just really an interesting take on this scene.
Yeah.
I guess it's to juxtapose Corin.
Yeah.
Yep, I think so. His just enthusiasm for the moment.
He still can't stand him. It's a real shame. He finally begins to at the end of this episode, which I suppose makes sense. He's continuing it from the last episode. I get what Rick's doing.
Teal'c's smiling. Yeah. He's being really like he thinks it's cute, you know.
Well, Teal'c's always been childlike to a degree, so I think that they appreciate each other that way. Hey, Major Davis.
So Jack's remark about something going terribly wrong just before Davis appearing is a clever bit of foreshadowing. So it's also kind of a playful nod to the running gag in the series with Major Davis sort of having a knack for materializing whenever the situation is about to go sideways.
Yeah.
And a Redditor mentioned being initially confused about whether Colin was actually playing the same character or not. So the commentator wondered why a Pentagon liaison would suddenly be on a vessel with SG-1. And they speculated that maybe because the vessel was in Earth's orbit, the Pentagon wanted their own representative on board alongside, the SGC personnel.
It's funny. I never even questioned it. I was like,
yeah, I know. I enjoy seeing him, so I'm not bothered at all. And the Gate World reviewer actually had the exact same opinion. And another interesting behind the scenes bit of trivia is that Major Davis's appearance in this episode was initially written for a scientist character named Nolan, but Colin Cunningham took the initiative to suggest Major Davis for the part. And apparently Brad Wright was so impressed that he said that he basically put him in the episode because it was the first time he'd seen an actor do that for themselves and be correct. And Colin even considered playing Davis with a crush on Carter, but that idea got shut down pretty quickly.
Well, it's just out of left field. So Colin got sides for this episode. Was he just auditioning for another role?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, he just they were going to have another different scientist character in this episode, and apparently he pitched for Davis to be put into that role instead.
But he had to have had access to the script.
Yeah, how did he know?
I'll be talking with him next week, so we're going to find out.
Well, ask him, please.
Yeah.
You know what? I intend to.
Yes.
And that was a new opening credit as well. So moving away from the spinning Stargate background.
I didn't even mention that. Yep.
Yeah. And I was going to say before, they were kind of questioning whether the vessel that they've come across was the one that held Thor. And I kind of thought it might be useful if they had like large license plates plastered on the side for easy identification.
Gold license plates. Well, yeah, there was that one time that like Teal saw the ship and he was like, yo, that's Nerty in Singularity in season 1. And I'm just like, how'd you know it's Nerty,
how do you know, dude?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just sort of like it was like his symbiote telling him or something. It was like,
and maybe she had a bumper sticker that we just didn't see and he did.
Yeah.
Maybe she was starting a trend that no one picked up on.
Can't help but admire Jonas's eagerness to get his feet.
Yeah, I feel bad he's being left behind.
Well, I mean,
that was a pun.
I've got some stuff to say about that. So this episode also marks the debut of the US Air Force patch on all the SGC uniforms, which sort of adds a bit of an authenticity to the military portrayal.
I still haven't had a valid answer as to why it was introduced at this stage. I'm still looking for that answer.
Yeah, I guess it was just a little added bit. That, by the way, is John Shaw. So he plays Dr. Friesen. So John actually holds a unique distinction in the Stargate franchise. He's one of only a select few actors that have appeared in all 3 series. So he pops up in season 3 of Atlantis and in season 2 of Universe.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was taking a gulp.
No, that's okay. Gulp away.
Okay.
Glug, glug. Oh, this is so. I just like Jones is just so cute.
I love him. In a behind the scenes video for this episode, Peter DeLuise referred to the silver cloth on Anubis's throne as his security blankie.
Yeah.
Also, I believe this prop is called the jukebox on set.
I'm not surprised.
That's what
I saw
Peter
that
DeLuise
jukebox.
called it. So, oh, did you?
I did.
So apparently it had no features like any buttons or levers, so the actors had to mime operating the ship, which should be kind of hard.
It was a recreation of Ra's console from the feature film. I can tell you how much it sold for.
Mime operate the ship, please. I'm interested.
Give me a moment. And well, I mean, I'm sure he did. So, because it's the same kind of console with the red. There's little red vertical slits, and you just kind of put your hand on it, and as you can see, the top of the panel has little bitty lights in it. So if you're looking really closely,
just random
they're
winky blinky
white
lights.
Yes, it's a BL.
Careful, Jacob. That's how they use guns. Move your hand off that thing.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So this dialogue about salvaging the ship echoes like similar conversations from Exodus and Tangent. So the whole Earth adapting alien technology sort of continues to be a reoccurring theme. And Jack also said excellent, which is his impersonation of Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Yep. Isn't the Forgot to Take the Simpsons episode in this one?
No, next. That's Frozen. Yeah.
Oh, that's Frozen. Okay.
Yeah. It's Frozen.
Yeah, he's
Double
outside
Simpsons.
of cable range or of TV range.
Mm-hmm. He's probably just hoping this is a one-day thing, whereas in Frozen, they literally say it could be a few days, and then the whole virus thing happens. But we'll get there.
Carmen does a really good job, I think, like pretending to use the
weapons. Oh yeah, the gold mothership dashboard estimate $800 to $1,200 sold for $6,000 on March 19th, 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just transporting that home would be a pain.
I would use it as like a bar.
So we used a company called Craters and Freighters to ship all the larger pieces. In many cases, the crating and freighting of it, because it's two separate components, cost more than the items themselves.
Lord.
Wow.
So we were very limited
surprised.
at this stage in PropWorks' life to picking large pieces. So when we picked one, it had to be a good one, because we knew that this is we could only be selective for the bigger pieces that we had, because people couldn't afford them, the shipping.
Yeah, no,
So
I get
they
that.
put all their
I live
money
in
into the
Australia,
listing,
so...
and really, I'm sure you know nothing about that.
So I wanted to say before, I think we kind of missed it, but I'm sure we'll
I'm
see it
sorry.
again. So no, it's not a problem. I didn't realize until I was watching some behind the scenes stuff that the behind, like, so the magic behind the starry night that you see in the background of like some of the ship's windshields is actually a large black silk curtain adorned with mirrored buttons. I'd never knew that before until I saw some behind the scenes stuff.
I
like,
saw some
wow,
behind the scenes with David
takes away
Hewitt
some
and
sequence.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes away some of the magic, but you know,
That's going back to Star Trek. I mean, that's an old trick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It works though.
It does.
Better than CGI
Yes,
in
Dad.
space constantly.
Yeah, exactly, and
Lot of
it'll be
expensive
cheaper.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
I love that Colin's in this episode.
So I want to say
I love seeing him too on a bit of adventure.
Yeah,
outside
he
of
never
the-
gets out.
he never gets to do
inside of
anything. He
base.
sits there watching everyone
yeah.
else getting
That's
screwed
right.
over. It's really funny.
What gave that away?
Wow,
Colin?
your
Yeah.
powers of deduction.
This is an example of another episode that I love in that they're trapped in a space. You know, I've had 3 episodes in a row of trapped in a small space and like, how do we deal with this, you know?
You know, in the feature film, those things could shift giant boulders just by shooting at them, and now their staff weapons just give burn marks.
It's really annoying, actually. That's something that I have always just kind of disliked, is how they've made the staff weapons so weak.
Mm-hmm. In the feature film, I've got concept art where people, you shoot at someone, you put a hole through them, completely through them, and it's just I guess it's just different variations of liquid Naquita is the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah, maybe that does kind of make sense.
That's my headcanon.
Because
Yeah.
like my
There you go.
headcanon was they just got like a bad batch from the manufacturers. It doesn't really
Yeah.
work.
We can power it. I would assume you could power it with different versions of liquid Naquita that would have different intensities. But if they're probably
Yeah,
more intense,
okay.
the staff weapon probably doesn't last as long.
I still find it
buy
ludicrous
that.
that they use liquid Naquita to power
They
a
do.
Stargate to an
Yeah.
alternate another galaxy. I think that's
So-
silly because it's so weak.
So I believe they used a propane cannon to simulate the explosion. Peter DeLuise described it as looking like a beer keg with a valve and a long pipe attached. So it generated a fireball that was about 12 feet wide and 15 feet long.
There's some great behind the
and
scenes of them actually doing that. With
Yeah,
that
there
kind of
is.
thing. Yeah.
The crew constructed the damaged door from like 2 separate halves, which are like fitted together on set to create the illusion of a single door with a blast hole. And what we're seeing here is called a matte extension shot. So the actors were filmed against a green screen and then the background was added in
It's
post-production.
one of my disappointments, that matte extension shot, because it's such a gorgeous scene, but unless you're really looking at it, you don't get the depth of it.
Yeah,
They really
yeah,
should have
true.
like
Yeah.
pulled back
Yeah.
from it for like the initial shot so you can get a sense of the space of what's ahead, because there's a ramp that continues in there, and unless you're really looking at it, you're not going to see it. It's a beautiful shot, but I wish they hadn't locked the camera for it.
Yeah, it's just got no depth.
Right.
So this is the introduction of the Ninja Jafar, who are like an elite group of warriors. So Malotzi described them as slice and dice, which is
Except they never slice.
kind of gory. No, they don't really. Yeah.
They threaten,
That's their
but they don't
intention,
slice.
but like he wasn't sliced up when they find him.
Nope.
He's just lying there.
Yeah.
And we see them march around in like full circle, but they never slice.
Yeah.
Apparently as
No
well,
slice.
I don't know how true this is, but I read somewhere that you can notice that Tilk's Jafar mark appears reversed in this bit of footage. So the DVD
What?
commentary revealed that it was due to a crafty filming technique. Both actors were actually filmed separately in the same seat, with Tilk's footage mirrored to create the illusion of them sitting side by side, but I couldn't really verify.
Oh,
I bet you're correct.
yeah, that makes some weird sort of sense. Have we just lost Yvie? Is she there?
Evie, come back, Evie.
Yvie's died. We'll see her in a bit.
It's entirely possible. She'll come around. But yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
Ninjafar.
Ninjafa, hey Harris.
Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yes, you're back.
What happened to you?
Okay, I tipped over my microphone.
Oh, okay.
I was doing the very European thing where I use my
Wave your hands around?
to talk, and
Yeah.
I knocked over the microphone, which is really clever.
Brilliant.
They probably did it to
so,
save time.
So I missed a little bit there. Tilk just said that it was Jonas's first mission, but there's kind of a slight
Tilk's
discrepancy because as we saw, SG-1 embarked on a mission at the end of Redemption Part 2. So
It's true.
unless it was like, you could explain it as, the team met up with Jacob on a Tok'ra ship and then like on a Tok'ra planet and then headed back towards Earth in the cargo ship.
Yeah.
So maybe it is the same mission.
Or they could have
which is-
visited Alpha Site. That's not really a mission.
exactly.
I think what he
Yeah.
means by mission is mission. Like,
Out in
actually,
a-
this is
yeah, I don't know,
actually
out
something.
in
yeah.
space,
Rather
yeah,
than
rather than a
like
planet.
some kind of a supply run or something. Yeah.
The whole conspiracy conversation there is
Oh, we
one of the
completely blew it. That's a
funniest.
great
Yeah.
sequence. Yeah.
I do love that. Yeah,
The way
sorry.
that Teal'c keeps like looking at him, being so suspicious and like so serious, and it's like Jonas, it's like he's panicking. My poor guy.
But I feel like Jonas as well. Like I don't know if Tilk is joking.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really regret about season 6, not continuing Jonas, although I do think it was best that Michael came back, is that I loved the bromance between Jonas and Teal'c.
It was nice.
Yeah.
He had another alien to hang out with.
Uh-huh.
Ron comes around and they have some cute
They do.
moments.
Of course they do.
I love them. Yeah, I like this episode because to me it's so wild. It's so wild that Thor just, stuck himself in the computer. Like he was like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna really embed myself in here.
He
and
knows where
ruin
he can get
Day
help.
and Anubis."
And
Yeah.
it's a good
Yeah.
thing for us because the actual Thor, he never came back again. He was in a coma.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, they were able to grab the rest of his consciousness,
Yeah.
brains.
Or they combined this information of Thor with the one in the clone, and he went for the new body by Prometheus. He goes for the new body.
You scientists, so good.
Oh, but you know what? You can't really paint all scientists with the same test tube.
Ew.
But they just don't care, you know? They're like, I know better than you. And it's like,
it's a curiosity
sometimes
just
I'm giving
overwhelms them.
Right. For these instructions for your own good.
Yeah. So, you'll notice in a sec that Major Davis just has a regular sidearm. So there was like some discussion online about why he has a sidearm and he doesn't have like a proper weapon. But I guess in the military you don't get handed like any weapon. Like you need to have like specific training and qualifications. So I think the justification would be that Davis just wasn't certified for the P90.
Probably makes sense.
Yeah.
I would have really liked them to just put like a big bloody like line across his back, being like, he got sliced, he's just still
give him
together.
some kind of a slice. They took the friggin' sword out. That's all I'm saying.
They did. Yeah, so like he's just got a regular hand weapon.
At least he gets to use it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Oof.
Oh, right in the shoulder.
These guys are pretty cool though. Like, I'm sad we didn't get to see more of them.
I forget what happens to the Jaffa.
I think
they gun them down?
Killed. Yeah, I think Teal'c and well, I was going to say Teal'c and Jonas, but it's just Teal'c.
Was their intent to like go down with the ship, or were they escaping?
I think their intent was to go down with the ship to a degree.
Yeah, I assume it was just like a
a
kamikaze thing. Yeah,
an uncontrolled re-entry.
I feel like if they
uncontrolled re-entry,
I feel like that they sought out a cargo ship, but they were like, if we don't get a cargo ship or anything, then we are just gonna die with the ship for our god, you know.
Can you call it a re-entry if they never visited Earth?
Thank you for making the absolutely fantastic argument that Zelenka makes in Atlantis, where it's like, go for re-entry, and then Zelenka's like, technically we never actually like left.
Oh,
that's a good question.
With the Atlantis in season 4.
Yeah,
this is true.
It's my favorite actually moment from the
show. Quibbles. I really wish they had spent the money to show us the mothership hitting the ocean.
Yeah, they saved it for the slightly cheaper death gliders.
Yep.
And also, like, Jonas, never turn your back on active rings. What are you doing, my dude?
Poor guy, he's so cute. The way he just gasps, I love it. He's like, Teal'c could smell it from a mile away. He was like, got trouble.
So I was reading the Gate World review for this episode, and I apologize if I mispronounce her name. I think it's Terry Campbell.
Okay.
So it's Terre. I think it's Terry.
Terry. Okay.
So yeah. So Terry sort of dug into Jonas's character a little bit. So apparently Jonas's enthusiasm is a cover for some serious self-doubt, which I
yes, obviously.
Yeah, which I agree with.
I can relate to that.
Worried. Yeah, me too. So he's worried that he won't measure up in a crisis, which obviously just played out right there.
Yeah.
And Terry thinks that Jonas is trying to fill Teal'c's shoes and maybe idolizes Jack a bit much. So it just sort of all boils down to Jonas desperately seeking Jack's approval.
Interesting. Well, that's I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, no. And Major Davis just mixed up his terminology. He should have said tsunami, not tidal wave. Tsunamis are caused by underwater disturbances and are not related to tides at all. And a tidal wave is like an older, less accurate term that's fallen out of favor with the scientists.
Well, what I will say is that he is not that kind of scientist, so you're allowed to do those words sometimes.
Yeah, true. Maybe that's why.
If he was mixing up his military terms, then I'd be like, Davis, you naughty boy.
But you're right. He's not a scientist.
I don't believe that they would have survived impact. I don't believe it.
No. Well, they apparently did. There's no seatbelts, so
I mean, can I also say
yeah.
that didn't like I know that they blew a hole in the Asgard ship when they crashed it into Earth, but I feel like, you know, if that thing's going down,
Right.
Jafar
Well,
ship's
I mean,
going down, so.
I think this was much slower than the reentry of the Beliskner. It's the only thing that makes sense because the ship is still intact largely.
Yep.
But yeah, there's also I also have to admit there is some suspense in not seeing what happened.
Yeah,
We have to infer in our mind what occurred.
Look, see, they're in this room again with all the whiteboards and all the screens, just like last episode. I love it. I get really excited when they're all sitting in the room scrambling to accomplish stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and they don't even have their like mega nerds around, like Rodney and Sam. So they're about to use some reused footage from A Matter of Time.
I was gonna say, yes, I remember this.
Yeah.
Interesting. That was reused footage. Okay. Look, you too cool for school.
Yeah, I just do my research. I don't pick these things
saying.
up on my own.
I don't do research. I feel so bad for Jonas here because it's like it's another situation where like so Daniel saved him, this time Teal'c saved him, and it's like I like that he gets his moment to shine, and it's such a cool moment.
But we also get inside his head. We also get his thoughts before then.
Yeah.
So I'm
but
sure there were plenty of
like that.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, you just see his like just the human side of him, and he becomes a lot more relatable. You know, a lot of people couldn't just be thrown into this sort of situation and be able to handle themselves like straight off the bat. So I like that we get to see from his point of view that it's not really that easy, and he does have to kind of adjust things and learn how to become a soldier.
I don't think anyone else could have told this to Jonas except for Teal'c.
No.
Exactly.
As an outsider. I suppose
Same way
Sam
Toman
could have.
needs Teal'c to tell him stuff as well.
Yep.
Gecko Fest said, didn't they blow up the initial dampener for the Beliskner, if I recall correctly? Yeah, I believe that's what it was, not trying to make it like,
so I guess that also reinforces
blow.
the ship. So if inertial dampeners were on, maybe they could have.
The thing is, I just feel like an Asgard ship could just take so much more of a punch. I just feel like the Gould ships are just weak in general, you know. So I do think it's a bit silly. Also, like, there's not enough damage done to this ship. They crashed into the ocean, and there's only a bit of flooding. Lord.
Yvie, are you going to be telling us about the location that they went to film all that?
Actually, I don't honestly know where they filmed all of that. Oh, actually, no, the flooding scenes. Yes, I know that. Yes, I will go into that later. Yeah, I was like, do you mean like where they filmed this episode? And I was like, I don't know that bit. I know about the flooding scenes.
Specific rigs for the flooding scenes were filmed at a certain site. So
yes, I'll go through that.
I think it's an Olympic swimming pool, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, it is. Yeah. So I was gonna say just before. Actually, I'll give it a few beats. God, they're like the same height.
I will say, I didn't realize, respectfully, how short Colin is until I met him, and I was like, oh, he's actually quite short.
He's not a big guy.
No, he's
But I wouldn't mess with him.
Oh no,
definitely not. No. I just thought that he was taller. But yeah, I think Amanda's quite tall for a woman, to be honest. Like, I feel like most women I know are like closer to my height. I think she's a little bit taller than me. More like my mum's height. My mum's quite tall. So.
Colin has a film coming out on, let me see here. I believe it's Wednesday the 6th of November, if I'm not mistaken, called They Never Left.
Oh, okay.
He kind of plays a bad guy, and I cannot recommend
does that well.
enough. He does. Yeah.
Which I find crazy because I've always grown up with him being like, you know, the goodest boy.
A good guy,
in this. And so
we went and saw him.
Talent.
My friend Remington and my other Nicole went and saw him as Bill Sykes in Oliver. And he was so intense and terrifying in that performance that we both had, Nicole and I had nightmares.
Oh, wow. Okay. Did you tell Colin that?
We sure did.
He would have been thrilled.
We both woke throughout the night. I was just so disturbed. he affected us so intensely. We just
wow.
had nightmares
so he's
throughout
done
the
his
night.
job.
Yeah,
amazing.
No. Oh no.
This is a problem.
I really
bit
love
of
the way
localized
that
flooding.
Jack kind of picks up Sam a little bit in the water, like he kind of drags her up a bit at one point, like
He
almost
does,
like a
yeah.
puppy being picked up by its mum. It's like whoop.
Or a gasket is broken.
So when Major Davis grabs Jacob, see that look on Carmen's face apparently was real.
Really?
So allegedly
really
Colin grabbed his shoulder harder than expected and caused like a genuine reaction. So Carmen, being the pro that he is, stayed in character, and the directors decided to keep that authentic moment in the episode. These flooding scenes were filmed at Vancouver's Olympic pool. So the crew cleverly created the illusion of rising water by slowly submerging the set in the pool.
Yep.
It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
There's a special feature about it.
Yeah, I've seen some cool behind the scenes photos. I love it.
I hope they're wearing wetsuits underneath.
They are absolutely wearing wetsuits underneath, because apparently it was quite a tough shoot for Amanda and Rick.
Just had to go hang out in a pool all day. So I was remember when the Avatar cast were talking about filming the second Avatar film, and they said that they were in the water so much all day they peed in the water, and because it was like, no point in getting out. Yeah, there's no point. As long as they didn't have that coloring, you can have that like chemical in the pools that shows up they were
the color of urine.
They were good. In most public swimming pools, there is a higher percentage of urine than there is chlorine.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I try not to think about that whenever I'm in one. So Jack made a shrinkage joke, which was famously popularized by Seinfeld in the episode The Hamptons, which aired in '94.
That's correct.
So,
you mean
George
like laundry?
Costanza uses the term to explain the effects of cold water on the male anatomy when he's coming out of the pool. So Jack's line is likely a deliberate reference to this joke, but someone very innocent on Reddit said that he was referring to his clothes.
No.
And I was like, no, honey, no.
He's not.
I mean, I don't know that Jack's a bit of a pop culture buff, so he's dropped a Seinfeld nod before when he greeted you.
Is that Seinfeld or is that just life? Because I've got loads of friends who have never seen Seinfeld who always say like, oh, I got into that cold water and shrinkage. And I'm like, oh,
I actually think it actually stems from that episode, to be honest. Seinfeld was like ridiculously popular in the 90s.
Yep.
Also, Jacob is kind of interesting because he kind of seems more human than Tok'ra in this episode. So, Terry Campbell on the Gate World Review said that they expected Salmac to take over at this particular critical moment, but Jacob's very human emotions came through instead. So he even kind of admits fault, because he feels like he's killing Sam and Jack, which is like very uncharacteristic of a Tok'ra.
This is, we always feel like, at the 11th hour it turns around and then he says this and it's like, and that's when it cut to commercial back on Sci-Fi Channel. It was like, oh crap, what's going to happen? And this really is kind of a Deus Ex Machina, Thor from Machine, as it were.
Yeah.
So Thor really waited until the last moment.
The last minute. Yeah, exactly.
Big drama. Lilo, he picks up Sam here and I think it's super cute.
It is very cute.
Yeah. right, yeah, exactly.
Holding her up. It's adorable.
Well, she's shorter, so once he's on the ground, it makes sense that he can support her.
It's very cute. I think it's just very cute and supportive and protective, and my ship of heart,
Yeah.
There's
Sorry, there's
Peter DeLuise.
Hey, Peter.
In the background. Yeah, so that's a reference, into Sequest. Also, Sam and Jack's radios are still functioning after being some more submerged in salty, ocean water. So I assume they use special water-resistant communication devices.
Tell him I take back everything I was thinking underwater. What a guy. I can imagine him sitting there being like, Jacob, you son of a just being
son of a doo-doo.
Yeah, just being just super salty, and it's just he's like, forgive him for everything.
I'm just thinking, wow, they work after they've been submerged in salt water. The walkies.
Well, the thing is, the thing is with the technology nowadays is you can submerge stuff for a little bit and it does survive.
Thank God.
Even
but back then it didn't.
But back then, yeah.
But I'm guessing they may have here. Hey, look, Navy.
Yeah.
Don't often see Navy officers.
No, you don't.
Is Navy black? Do they wear black?
Black with gold markings.
Ah.
My cousin was in the Navy, but obviously Australian.
My
Navy.
grandfather.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I had a great uncle who was at Pearl Harbor.
Holy moly!
During the attack.
Jeez Louise! Wow.
My family were all academics, so they were not about joining the military until my uncle did it in his 20s. I think it was part of the tank regiment in the Royal Army, and that's about it.
Wow.
Like I think we discussed this a few weeks ago, but it's a weird bit of dialogue to
choose.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had nothing else to pick.
You have so much Michael Shanks, you know,
right?
like, come on.
You bring him back in a few episodes from now. You couldn't have gotten his voice.
They could have waited a week.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, it's like 2 episodes time or 3 episodes time. Anywho, we put that aside.
Yeah.
We saved Thor.
Yeah.
You'll owe us another one.
Yeah, exactly. You owe us a big solid Thor.
Yeah. And it pays back in spades later on. He comes back to upgrade the I believe the shields and well, the shields for sure, but I don't know about the weapons for Prometheus, but I'm not entirely sure.
Shit ain't that good. Ain't that good. They're not good.
So a Reddit user wrote, and I will paraphrase here, that the team seems surprisingly chill with only 17 minutes left on a self-destruct clock.
Yeah, it is actually.
They also noted that SG-1, who often deal with these sort of split-second decisions, 17 minutes might actually feel like a long time for them.
Yeah.
Next mothership we keep. So this was the second mothership, I think. So
they keep, you know, but they're not going to need a mothership anymore because they're going to have a nice Prometheus. So.
Yes, they're very ugly Prometheus.
Oh my gosh.
Also, am I jumping ahead? I was going to say the water levels abruptly stop before they reach the ceiling, which is likely due to a practical limitation with the set
I saw that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Cool. I would love to own one of those.
Here he is.
They're like, are you sure? Are you sure you got them all?
He's a big guy.
Very smart.
Oh, he's a smart guy. That's it.
He's a smart guy.
Big brain, I think is what you mean.
Big brain.
That's it.
Oh, guys, it's coming. It's coming. I'm so excited. They're gonna be like, oh no, it's flooded. We can't get anywhere. Oh no.
Yeah.
We've got to head over to the bay in order to go get some death gliders. Oh no, where's Jonas? I'm so excited. Dang. I like that. Dang, we're gonna die in 14 minutes.
So succinct. Right? Yeah.
I just always think about that, like, I think it's time to say something profound. Nothing comes to mind, let's blow it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that line.
Jack gets it. I think it's important that in the face of death, you just laugh at it and just have a good time, you know? I respect Jack's commitment to the bit.
Me too.
You could tell where the commercial break was.
Yeah.
The ease into the hero's face. Uh-oh.
Now they're having to wait. Look at this. It's like, whew, I've got nothing.
Oh, yeah, it's Sam. Poor Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that, yeah. I mean...
Are they waterproof?
I can't think about the pressure.
I'm sure they're waterproof, but how would you fly one through the
the pressure under the water? I'm assuming the gliders have, like, inertial dampening, so it should be, like, okay. But, like, that's mental because, you know... There was some guy who was on a fishing boat that, like, capsized and went to the bottom of the ocean, and he was like the only survivor because he happened to get up to
the
pee
water
in the middle
pocket?
of the night. Yeah, and he survived in the water pocket, and he had to get in one of those bells to like slowly raise into the surface and change the pressure.
Yep. He had to stay underwater for like an additional like day or something. Yeah, to reacclimatize. Otherwise, he would have got the bends. We literally must have just watched like the same video on that recently.
Did we both watch it?
Sorry.
YouTube, man, 3 a.m. I'm always watching some crazy stuff. It's funny, the rabbit hole. Yeah, rabbit hole of just, now this.
It's the crystals from Double Jeopardy.
Yeah. Where Sam's like, Robot Sam's ripping them out.
Yeah, she does rip them out. Yes, yep. I can picture
I don't remember which color, but
the scene.
there was a color.
Well, green, red, and blue, aren't they? She's pulling out some green ones. Was it green?
I think it was green. I feel like it was green and red.
Add this to the trivia.
Yep. Whoever does that, you're dead.
See, this is Jonas's dad.
They don't really try hard to save him, do they? It's like Jonas. Oh yeah.
Well, also it's like Jonas is gonna go save his daughter. So either Jonas dies or Sam dies, kind of.
Yeah.
You know. Also, Jonas is doing it to save 3, so I think it's a noble sacrifice Jacob is letting him take.
So Terry Campbell noted that Sam dealt with a lot of self-doubt in this episode, which they linked to recent close calls like Red Sky, 48 Hours, and Redemption, and also the loss of Daniel. So I think it's a nice touch of sort of realism for a character that's often the go-to problem solver. Also, Jack offering Sam a reassuring pat on the back is like
Teal'c's being like, on the contrary, and he's like,
gesture of physical comfort from him. So
yeah,
I think that's a nice touch as well. Terry said that Jack seems increasingly more watchful over Sam this season, especially since her kidnapping last season.
What I love about this is Jonas is the hottest he will ever be in this moment. He is like, my guy, you fierce man. Like, look at you know, look how hard he's about to go into that water. He is ready to take on the day and save everybody, and I am so into it.
So
action Jonas to the rescue.
Exactly. So according to Corin Nemec, he actually holds his breath for an impressive 1 minute and 48 seconds while filming.
They do the whole thing in one shot
than what we see in the final cut.
Yep.
So apparently the scene had to be edited down because Corin's breath holding abilities exceeded what was needed for the story. So not to discount Corin's feat at all. What a hero. But I wanted to put this into context of some other celebrity breath-holding records. So on the set of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Tom Cruise held his breath for 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Yes. And while filming Avatar: The Way of Water, Kate Winslet, who's like
she had the longest,
held her breath for an astonishing 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
Wow.
And they peed in the pools. They peed in the pools.
I didn't know that. They had to cut the shot, the wide angle, because one of the glass plates
I was going to say, this irks me because one of the glass plates turns over. Yes. Yeah, you see it fall over at one point.
But at least they can say...
No, one fell. I just saw it in the top right.
Yeah, another one right there fell. Yeah.
Doesn't
But it was really subtle compared to the other ones, like compared to anything else falling, so... Look, you did it. I love that Jack's like, oh, look, you did it. And Teal'c's like, no, it's Jonas. Look. Look, he's like, yeah, look, recognize him.
Yes.
Oh, God, Jonas is so hot here. I can't even, honestly. Like, look at him go. Look at him go. I can't swim very well. Look at this man go.
Oh, you can't?
He's like a gorgeous platypus. Look at him go.
I would probably, like, drown. He is, yes! A cinnamon platypus. Look at him. God, what a hero.
Let's just enjoy this effect. And he knows to duck down?
Yeah, exactly. Did not cut his head off. Wow, that was so well done.
Yeah, that was very well
I always thought it was CG until I talked with... who did I talk with? James Titchener, I think, who said that it was practical.
That's
brilliant.
Crazy.
Hey, look, there he is.
But, like, they knew Jonas was on the ship, but they don't wait for him. Like, until he starts saying, wait.
Well, because I guess they thought that he might just die. So,
No.
So, the Death Glider scenes are actually shot so tight on the actors because the physical props don't have wings.
No.
Correct.
They're added later by special effects.
And the closing of the canopy was a special effect by Rainmaker,
Yes.
and it's one of the cooler effects I think the show does.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
seamless.
Yeah,
I love the music. Can I
real.
say the music in this episode is like, it's the same music that was playing in Meridian when Daniel sacrifices himself. It's the same damn song.
Yep. That's it.
Like, they've taken Daniel's hero music from Meridian and Jonas's failure, and they've brought the music back for Jonas's hero moment, and I think that is magic.
Yeah.
In this episode,
giving the tune a new meaning.
The motherships launch the gliders differently. They launch them straight forward with the wings already in position rather than collapsed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, so cool.
So,
I have a hard time buying it, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. Who cares?
This explosion marks the destruction of the 34th Hatuk ship, apparently.
Really?
Whoa.
Since Stargate Command's inception.
Wow.
So, curiously, the next time trailer at the episode's end apparently previewed Abyss rather than the actual next episode, Frozen.
Oh,
Really?
shoot.
And it's like one of its
That's a big
original
bit.
airs. Yeah.
Oh, they previewed the wrong one?
Apparently. Yeah. I mean,
remember
obviously, I don't have any
that.
proof of that, but I read it somewhere. So the ending of this episode, on a personal note, sort of hits me right in the feels. So there's something I think deeply satisfying about seeing Jonas's journey towards acceptance. Like his
Yeah.
struggle resonates with me because I've found it challenging to form new relationships in the past while staying like true to myself. And what I really appreciate is how the show portrays SG-1 evolving from just colleagues to like genuine friends.
Well, Jack's
So,
also playing with
to
him
quote-
finally in this scene.
Yeah,
He's
that's
teasing
true.
him. So
To quote Parks and Rec, if you've ever seen Parks and Rec, it's not just about being workplace proximity associates. They actually become like actual friends. Like you see real bonds form, and I think it's really like heartwarming to witness.
absolutely.
Yeah. I agree. I was gonna say, if you feel that way, Yvie, I hope that you've never like had any issues forming long-lasting bonds with me and David.
Oh
in
no,
our
of course
close
not. Yeah, no,
situations, you
no,
know?
I mean,
of course not.
there's
Buddies for
always
life.
going to be, no relationship is perfect.
No,
So-
but I like to think that Yvie can be as herself as possible in our company.
Absolutely.
Because we love you. What a nice way to end it.
Yes, we're more than workplace proximity people.
Associates.
That was so cheesy of me.
That was Frozen. Or, excuse me, Descent.
Right.
Descent.
Oh, dear.
All right, gang.
Oh.
Meh.
God, okay, who wants to go first?
This one is a 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Colin is back.
Yep.
Yes.
The utilization of Thor delivering himself to Earth, in this way, whether he intended to provide the ship as a gift, as Carter suspected, or as a plea for getting out. I thought it was unusual that he had no new lines, though. I mean, we understand why, but I mean, he would have had some new lines.
Yeah.
But I love that bit of it. The visual effects are fantastic, and the setup is really interesting. It's a bottle show. It's like
I love
we've
a
got
good
these
bottle.
standing sets, and I think largely Stargate does great when it does self-contained episodes. So I give it a 5. What y'all think?
Well, I'll go next then, I guess. So I was actually leaning towards a 5 myself, because I think there is quite a lot of like reused concepts, like, I don't know, that seem to be more obvious than usual. That Jacob literally has the exact same lines as he has in previous episodes, warning them that you can't just slap a US Air Force sticker on the side
Running
of a
gag.
Goa'uld vessel, I guess, but it didn't kind of seem
Oh, no,
like it was
combination
coming
of the
across
two.
as a
Yeah.
running gag. It was like actual genuine advice. It's like, yes, we've heard that before, Jacob. But it was very good to see Carmen again. It always is. And I love seeing Colin. So it's good to see him too, even though his actual presence in the episode wasn't necessary and wasn't explained.
It's just nice.
I just love seeing his face. So I think it's a 5 just because, I just feel like there was a lot of reused a lot of reused lines and a lot of reused kind of concepts, but it was still very engaging, and Jonas finally kind of got to redeem himself a little bit more. And he's finally feeling like he's part of a team and he's fitting in. And I love this like blossoming kind of alien relationship, so to speak, between him and Tilk. It's great. Yeah, they're like buddies, alien buddies. So yeah, I think a 5 for me as well.
I'm gonna come in with some crazy opinion. So I think that this episode for me is like I'm obsessed with the bottle episodes where they're saving money, where they have to lock themselves in a room and the writers have to like do some crazy stuff in order to make something interesting. So for example, some of my favorite episodes are like Prometheus Unbound, just 2 people locked in a spaceship together, or like Grace Under Pressure, where McKay is trapped in a sinking jumper in the middle of the ocean. It's the drama is so fun, and the chemistry is chemistrying. I think that this episode also has some beautiful Jonas moments, and it's one of my favorite episodes because Jonas shines so brightly. And there's like everyone in this episode is just my favorite. Like, all my faves are together. Michael Shanks is around in some way, shape, or form, and I love that. It's just it feels like SG-1 is SG-1ing. It's, we're here. We're doing it.
SG-1 is SG-1ing.
I love it.
We're not winning, we're SG-1ing.
Yeah. So, this is an episode that I watch on repeat a lot. It's one of my top episodes that I rewatch over and over again for some reason. So, for me, this one is a 7. Because I love it that much.
I can see that.
Everything about it has every element of Stargate that I love, and it had cool action set piece and the music, and also what I said earlier, I've only just realized as well watching it with you guys, is the exact same music as Meridian, and it's
there were a lot of cues that were reused.
Yeah,
to save
and
money.
they reused they reused to save money, but they did it so perfectly in like the right kind of moment, and then echoed Meridian with Jonas, and I thought
this is your tangent. If I have 40 minutes to throw on every 8 or 9 months, I'll watch Tangent. So.
Yeah, this is my
I just love the music in the opening, and woohoo! In all seriousness, if that's okay with you, Colonel.
Brilliant. But yeah, so but I'm glad that we're agreeing. So we have Nick Nah. It's nice, David. Stop telling me off. We're 6 seasons in.
I'm glad that we all agree. You sound like my father.
Oh God.
Love you, Dad.
I love you, David's dad. Nick. No, I didn't mean that in a bad way. I meant it as in the relationships between father and son can also sometimes be a bit difficult. So I meant it like that way. Yeah. Much like everyone. Nick Nah, I'm between a 4 or 5. I think I'll go for a 5. Anthony, this is a 4 from me. Jean Diada, 5. Dan Ben, 5. Good episode. Raj Luthra, I love the end credits music. I rate 6 out of 7. Gecko Fett, 5. Stuart Miller, 5. Chevs. Underwater Jonas scene pushes it from a 4. I respect that. Candy Mitch, 6. Shimmer Victoria, 5. Nearly said 6. 5. Lockwatcher, I give this a 6. It would be a 5, but I like the production stuff. Jonas and Teal'c interaction was great. In the end, they ask about Jonas. Jack says all members of SG-1 present accounted for. Yeah, it's so cute.
Yes, I know.
And before they left, Jacob voted a 2. Ooh, and Robin voted a 5. And then Dockwatch said, I do wish that they had spent an additional 10 grand to show them look out the front of the ship and see the water. Yeah, that would have been sick.
I think that would have. Well, I mean, if you're looking at it from their perspective, yeah, 10 grand maybe. It costs 5 grand to do a puddle pass for one person. So.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yep.
And then we have Nicole likes it because cute Jonas, lol. Yes, cute Jonas is a huge part of why I like this episode. When you like a character and they get to shine, it's really great. And Iceman. Is this a new person? Hello. Says, do you plan to do this with Atlantis and Universe? Yes, we do. We are doing it in
release order.
Plans.
We've got many years ahead of us. I will be 30 by the time we are done. I am 26. I was 24 when we started this. So, ew.
There we go.
So yeah,
I need like some sort of like bingo sheet. Nicole mentions her name.
Right.
Yeah,
Her age?
honestly,
Yeah.
I should put like £1 in a jar every time I mention it, like a swear jar for age.
An age jar. I love
An
it.
age jar.
Yeah, we tend to take 5 months per season. So,
yeah. 17 seasons, a long way to go, and some movies.
Yeah, we
but
do.
Yeah, Iceman, we
per
rate
year.
out of 7 chevrons because that's how much you dial a Stargate to. So feel free to input that and go to past episodes. And
Anthony keeps track of all of it. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony is an absolute legend.
Anthony is our wizard.
What a bro.
All right. So we're going to be moving on now to Frozen. And I really
wish I had some Frozen dessert or something.
Sincerely loved Evie's post this week. Let me pull this up because this was really funny.
It didn't really get a lot of love, but that's okay.
Well, you know, maybe people just don't know
sometimes it's just a bad day.
But here's Wormhole Wednesday, defrosting. It's not just for fritters. When you're naturally cold but trying to be more approachable.
It was really good. It doesn't. Sometimes it just don't land, but I definitely I think Instagram did pretty good. I found it funny. I thought it was.
I thought it was really funny
too. Yeah. It actually, it came to me when I was driving home from work. I was trying to think of like a way that I could use it without referencing. I didn't really want to reference that there was an actual human in there, kind of. So
yeah, no, it works perfectly. I love it. I think it's excellent. I think it's excellent.
I've been starting to.
This episode
Go ahead.
Is meh. Oh goodness.
This episode is meh.
Yeah. We haven't even got there yet, Dan.
Yeah.
Frozen. Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, let's go and see what's in store. You guys all set?
We get some frozen goods. Yes.
All right. Let's get frozen goods.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Who called for frozen goods?
Oh gosh. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started now. Frozen 604 in 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to Wormhole Extremists. My name is David. I'm with Nicole.
Hello.
And Yvie.
A good day.
And this is our return to Antarctica in Stargate SG-1 Season 6, Episode 4's Frozen.
It is.
I just want to say that, sorry, David, go.
How we haven't been back since Season 1.
Yeah, I do like when they go back to Antarctica. The dangers of the ice. Gecko Fett said, after we've done this, Gecko Fett immediately went to Instagram and liked Evie's meme. So thank you, Gecko Fett.
Oh,
that's what I want to say.
Oh, that's adorable. So Sam is like kind of providing some technical context for the Antarctic DHD's limited use, which sort of explains its absence in certain critical situations from previous episodes. I was going to say this is written by Robert C. Cooper and directed by Martin Wood. So it's returning to a similar territory as Solitudes. So according to the DVD commentary, he found this episode easier to direct due to his increased experience and more favorable filming conditions. And Amanda Tapping said in the commentary, same director, same Frozen soundstage. Coincidence? I think not.
Yep.
And the last time there was a fire.
Yeah. So you'll notice a lot of North Face branding.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, this marks a departure from the show's like usual focus on military hardware. So much so that apparently in the UK broadcasts they digitally obscured the logos.
Really? Why?
Apparently, and I don't know. And according to Kathann Ambrose, the script coordinator, the product placement was a deliberate collaboration with North Face due to the episode setting in Antarctica. So she said product integrations were quite rare on Stargate, given that the show's focus was mainly on fictional planets and custom-made props.
But Dell, was a big one.
That's true.
And North Face and like maybe one other like Fanta. No, there was a like when they had water bottles. We'd see Ben and Jerry's. In season
Ben
6.
and Jerry's. Yep, absolutely.
And they would have water bottles off-world. So, yeah, they were shipping a lot of product to and from.
Yeah. So, in keeping with Stargate's tradition of using British Columbia locations, White Rock is named after the real city near the US border.
Yep.
The production team actually went to great lengths to create like an authentic and Antarctic environment for this episode. Co-executive producer N. John Smith said that they employed the same refrigeration company as they did for Solitudes, aiming for a chilly -5 degrees on set. Ironically, they had to turn off the cooling during the filming due to like noise issues.
Yep.
And RDA, being from Minnesota, he was reportedly unimpressed by the cold and claimed he was born in much harsher conditions.
I'm sure that's right.
And both Corin and Amanda said that the cold set enhanced their performances. So Amanda particularly appreciated seeing like her breath. So she said it added like a layer of authenticity that she felt improved the on-screen like result.
Yep.
We also kind of heard Jack make like a flyaway comment about, you know, being happy to be in Antarctica. So obviously this is because of what
PTSD.
happened in Solitudes. Yeah.
I also loved his doctor. All right, that's enough.
I know. We also missed the pineapple that was sitting on the metal drum to the left of the screen in the entranceway. So this is the calling card for Will Waring, but he didn't actually direct this episode. He was the camera operator though.
So that's his
little
nod. I've been trying to get Will on the show.
I want to make a complaint. This episode is forever burned in my brain as the thing I'm mad at because I didn't remember Ayana Eternal Bloom when David gave it to me as a question in trivia, and
Cherokee.
I'm still mad about it.
Oh, yes. So Joe Malozzi revealed that Dr. Michael's claim of being 1/4 Cherokee was a playful jab at Chris Judge, who is also 1/4 Cherokee.
He is.
Wow.
So Jonas's statement about the Giza Stargate being buried 2,000 years ago contradicts the show's established timeline of 5,000 years. So he may have meant to say 2000 BC, but that would have been off as well.
Ooh, good point.
Well, you know what? Jonas it has a big head with a lot of information in it, and sometimes people flub. So
that's true. Yeah,
but
like
for Jonas,
cram
that's
studying.
odd.
Like you can't like cram study because it doesn't commit the information to your long-term memory, only short-term. So maybe he did that. I don't know.
Yeah. I just love that Janet's here. It's so nice.
Yep, makes sense.
It's so nice. I love it.
This is the first big nod to the ancients.
Yeah.
Well,
she's
after
in
like
Atlantis.
Ascension.
She's in the first episode.
She sure is. She
She
wasn't
is,
supposed to
yeah.
be, and they managed to get her in. I remember reading that they wanted to and that they didn't, and then there she was in the show. And I'm like, yes.
It is good to see her.
Such a cool idea.
Yeah. So this episode obviously continues the running gag of Jack's devotion to The Simpsons, and it's also a clever nod to the show's reciprocal references to MacGyver. Joe Malozzi recalled that this detail ultimately led to Dan I can never pronounce his name. Thank you.
Castaneda.
Guest appearance in Stargate,
Yes.
and obviously the neat twist of fate with RDA's subsequent guest spot on The Simpsons.
For sure.
I actually saw that Simpsons episode before I saw the episode Citizen Joe. So that was really delightful watching the reverse.
So I missed doing our like character introductions when the crew were originally introduced. So this episode features Bruce Harwood as Dr. Osborne. So X-Files fans would appreciate that. He was best known as John Fitzgerald Byers in the X-Files.
Yep.
And we also have Paul Perry as Dr. Woods. So he seems to have a PhD in playing doctors, because this is like the 10th time in a white coat in his acting career. And Venus Terzo as Dr. Michaels. So she's actually voiced a character on she's voiced a character called Jean Grey on X-Men Evolution.
Oh, I didn't know she was Jean Grey.
So many Stargate alumni. So Christopher Judge.
Have you seen X-Men, Yvie?
Did Evolution?
I guess no, not X-Men Evolution.
Watch her eyes.
Judge was on there.
Watch
Kirby
her.
Morrow.
Her right eye flickered a little bit. Eyelid.
Oof.
Oh, did it?
But it was pretty steady.
She's doing a good job.
So, sorry, Yvie.
No, that's okay.
Ooh, she live.
Yeah, she is alive.
Oh, so creepy. Like
so, as we kind of mentioned, she kind of holds the distinction of being the first on-screen ancient. Though this isn't like immediately apparent. Yeah.
Chibi Me said, I'll forever be frustrated that Ayana, being an Atlantis, didn't have a follow-up. Yeah, I would have liked more follow-up as to the situation there.
I agree. A bit more background would have been good.
Because that guy's like just really angry at her, and then he walks away, and then suddenly Atlantis is gone, and she's left there, and I'm like, okay, well, what did she do? Well, what happened here?
Yeah, how did she end up on Earth? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and abandoned. Well, Atlantis on Earth
probably
now
has to do with the
behind,
plague.
But yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, you're probably right.
I wrote a novel series, again, I've said this before, called Stargate Oblivion, a 6-part series, and she is a big player in this.
Yeah. I always was kind of bothered about her clothing, though, because it's not very ancient-y, especially compared to the outfit that she's wearing.
It's not.
When you see her. It's very not accurate to what I understand from the ancients.
It suggests she lived for a while after the base left and had to fashion her own clothing.
Yeah, so, and to me that just doesn't seem like a thing.
Congress, yeah.
So the creation of the ice tomb that she was in was like a feat of practical effects.
So cool.
So they used acrylic and a mold of her face to like craft a perfectly fitted icy encasement.
She wasn't really in there when the large piece was overhead, was she? I guess she was.
Yeah, I think she was.
I mean, it's better than having
some
to put a
footage
fake
of her
person
like
in there.
having to lie in there, and they were like putting the other half of the tomb like on top of her.
Wow!
But they did like a mold of her face. It was in like the behind the scenes footage. I think she was there for hours when they were like applying this plaster to her face and waiting for it to set.
If you prick me, I bleed.
So cool. This is a very cool moment. You know, like I've never like loved this episode, but there are elements of this episode I do really like enjoy. Like this is super cool.
It makes a lot of sense to me that you unfreeze something this old, another human. It's like when Europeans come to America, they're going to spread their disease. We wiped out, what, 95%, 93% of all North American Indians when Europeans arrived? They gave us syphilis, but I mean, wiped out that race.
Yeah.
Completely unintentionally. But it still happened.
Yeah.
I love her reaction.
Well, her vocalizations while being intubated kind of stretch medical credibility because the tube would pass between the vocal cords, so they'd be essentially rendered immobile. So the audible noises would be like quite difficult. But anyway, that doesn't really matter.
She is beautiful.
Yep.
What I find is kind of funny is she's got like the overplucked 90s eyebrows. So the ancients were like way ahead of their time.
You know, trends, man. Like all sorts of fashion trends go back and forth.
That's true.
She was a trendsetter for her time. She had no idea it would come back.
So I think around here there was a scene that was cut with Jack debriefing Hammond. So there were like a few very colorful lines that didn't make the episode.
I've seen
for
them,
good reason.
Yeah.
Including a rather blunt response to Sam's observation about the frozen body's gender. And there was also a scene cut about The Simpsons with Jack asking Hammond if he'd remembered to tape it.
To tape it for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Is Don in this episode?
I think his one moment was cut out.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
so
he was in the deleted scene.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Did they film
and
it?
I don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they filmed it.
Wait, did we see him at the end of this episode? Don't we see him at the end?
No. Well,
no, I don't think.
They may, because we
I
do see him go through the Stargate.
Yesterday, and I can't remember.
Yeah, he goes back to the base. I think we see him at
I
the
guess
end.
we do see him. Okay.
But we don't see him during this part. Like we would have, but it got cut. So.
It was just like a It might have just been audio, but I mean, yeah, it was filmed. It just was cut out. It really wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
I think they just couldn't make it work with the script.
They got her tied down.
Yeah, they don't need to do that.
They don't know that.
She's just confused. Like, she's not violent. Yeah, removing those masks is not a good idea.
I like when he shows her like how to eat, like, was it peas and carrots? The chopped carrots are chopped up in the little like boiled carrots. And yeah,
yes,
and she's like
yes.
with her fingers eating it.
Yeah.
Every time I see that, I get hungry for carrots. What is this hairstyle?
It's like dreads, but not.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I used to do my hair like that back in the 90s.
Oh,
really?
Very time consuming. Yeah.
It's very 90s.
Yeah. It's like faux dreadlocks.
Yeah.
She reminds me so much of Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed. Is it Mila Jovovich?
Mila
Jovovich,
yeah.
Jovovich, yeah.
Yeah.
Mila Jovovich's daughter's now doing really well. She's got like a good acting career ahead of her.
She looks just like her.
She does. She did Black Widow, and then
image of her.
Also did the new Peter Pan one, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Lock Watcher Anna was also in 4 episodes of Universe as Colonel Young's wife Emily.
She was, yeah, she was.
Yes.
Oh god, that horrible sex scene that I've just remembered that we have to get to eventually. Oh god, the awkwardness.
Yeah, Anna is one of the few actors who appear in all 3 shows.
She's just. Oh yeah, and it's completely healed, isn't it?
Completely healed.
Like,
yes, no more boo boo.
Ancient baby.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Chicken.
More chicken.
Amazing.
I wish we'd seen more of both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Frances as well. She's really cool.
Isn't it Francine?
Francine.
Sorry,
I wasn't going to say
Francine.
anything,
I don't want
but
to say
yeah.
Frances. Sorry.
I had to correct her, Yvie.
Thank you, darling.
Sorry.
No. I want to be right. I want people to tell me when I'm wrong.
ViewSonic. One of the few times ViewSonic had monitors. I think ViewSonic may have been the three panel monitor in the previous episode too.
Following us talking about the meme Yvie made, not doing as well as we would have liked. Stuart has now followed us on Instagram. Thanks, Stuart.
Oh, yay! Extra people.
There we go.
Urias Tosh said, gating in, folks. Hello. Welcome.
I'm thinking she doesn't remember because either her memory's been blocked.
Yes.
Or something happened to her and she damaged her head.
Maybe it's the
when
virus.
he shows her the Stargate, she doesn't recognize it. So I don't think that she does anymore.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
I love cafeteria food. I'm sorry, I do. I always have.
So you sound like McKay.
No, it's like plain food.
No, McKay hates plain food because he can't get seconds.
He can't get seconds.
I actually like plain food. I don't like cafeteria food. So.
She's so good in this.
Yeah, she really is.
She's making me hungry.
I've asked Anna to come on Dial the Gate. She's declined. That was a few years ago, and I might approach Corin to say, hey, would you be interested in doing a double?
Oh, that would be cool.
I'd love to sit down and talk with both of them again.
Yeah.
She's enjoying herself. You should have showed her to use out the utensils.
For a defrosted ancient, like maybe start with soup or something. Like ease her in. She hasn't eaten for
That's
centuries.
Yeah, the IBS trigger that's going to happen to her. Poor thing.
True.
My goodness.
And they'd undoubtedly have soup down there.
I'd say so. You'd need soup in these conditions.
That's true. There's corn, there's peas. What is that in the middle? Is it turkey? What is it?
Some sort of mash, yeah.
Okay, like mashed potato?
Is it mash? Yeah.
Yeah, it might be cut up meat with gravy.
I love her.
It's like dinner and a show.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Oh, she's so good.
Red jelly, because the blue is reserved for Sam.
Yes, the blue
Oh, sorry, Jello for Americans.
That's it.
Oh,
Oh, good
Cassandra.
callback. Good callback.
Oh, I love it. Let's
guess
remember that there are other episodes.
Frasier probably would have just taken her her database with her, or
I'd say so,
accessed
yeah.
it from here.
A zip drive or something. What do
She
they
would have had to
back
have
then?
had her, yeah. A zip drive, indeed. I had a zip drive.
Yeah, I had a zip drive too when
You
I was
did?
at university.
Oh,
yeah,
there
when
you
I was
go.
at uni.
You
That's
push the
how I
little
saved all
button
of
and it
my
thinks for a
work.
second, then it spits it out.
Yes.
I loved it.
Anthony says it's probably Salisbury steak. It seems to be a favorite. That's
Ah,
what Teal'c says his
Salisbury
favorite
steak.
is in
Good for you,
Atlantis,
Anthony.
isn't
Isn't
That's
that a-
probably it.
Yeah, maybe. I just
That's
thought the
it.
colors
That's
would be a
Teal'c's
bit
one.
different.
Well, colors are never consistent.
Yeah, but it is like probably frozen food.
I'm sure
so-
all of that food was frozen at one point or another.
Yeah.
So,
You're making me think about like all this plane food now. I remember on my way back from San Diego Comic-Con, I was on the flight and they gave me a breakfast, but they gave me like a typical English breakfast, but all English food
Yeah.
has ketchup with it,
Oh.
and there was no ketchup, and I was
Interesting.
infuriated. And then the woman said,
Blasphemy.
you eat ketchup with breakfast. Interesting. I mean,
In
I
the
know
UK, yeah.
some Americans do, but yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
flight attendant said to me, "I have some ketchup sachets in my bag. Let me
okay.
go get you some." And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, when you
In her
fly
bag.
international, you
Wow.
get the breakfast of the nation you're heading towards.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
you get
got-
the
I got
meals of
UK.
the nation you're heading towards.
So in
yeah.
no other situation would you accept sachets of ketchup from anyone else
Stranger.
other than
No,
an air hostess.
flight attendant. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
100%.
sachets?
It's a sachet.
Sachet.
Is that like
It's
a
a packet.
packet?
Yeah, packet.
Packet,
sachet.
yeah.
I guess that's like a derivation of sacket, or
Probably.
or like a sack, small sack. Interesting. All right,
Yeah.
back to the show.
Yeah, back to the show.
Sorry.
Evolution
Whoa.
of biology, ancients.
Here we go.
it's-
They're dropping like
Francine's
flies.
passed out.
Yep, that's our first casualty, so to speak. She's
So
not-
basically,
she's not
Nancy was
dead,
trying to
but-
get her ancient on and didn't get the chance in the end. So, oopsie poopsie. GB Me said, "Seems like Satidans and ancients have the same eating manners." Yes.
Yes. Hilarious.
It wasn't on purpose. Yep.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ah.
I guess they were just so excited about the fact that she was alive, they didn't really consider what she might be carrying.
I mean, they kind of did because they wore the masks, but then they quickly gave up on them, and it's like,
Yeah.
guys, you're a bunch of silly
Yeah, well,
billies.
that was Jonas's fault.
I
He
think
did
probably
smile
after
at her.
COVID, they would not proceed like they did in this
No.
episode.
No, oh my, COVID has
I think
done
they would
so
keep her
much to the
contained.
world. Yeah.
They'd be wearing like the full
Yep, I think so too. I
outfits.
think that they'd be wearing complete
Hazmat.
hazmat.
Yeah.
Mop 4.
Yeah, Mob 4. I was about to say that and then get
Yeah.
that weird gunk out and put it on his hands. Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't Teal'c also
Cool.
get sick because he, like, the symbiote
No,
can't
he-
do
he
anything
doesn't
about
get-
it?
I don't.
he
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't
get
think he
sick.
does.
He
Yeah.
doesn't get sick?
No.
No, they urge him to counter him so he doesn't get
Oh,
sick.
so he doesn't get sick. That's why.
He's
yeah,
fine
yeah.
and Jonas is fine for some reason.
Damn, the Gould symbiote be working overtime.
It does. It protects him from all kinds
just
of
the
things.
alien physiology is a
I
bit
will say,
different,
guys-
yes, because Jonas doesn't get sick either.
This is an episode I've only seen 3 times, which is why my memory is a little bit foggier.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it as we wrap it up. If
I
if
don't.
they
Yeah,
improve or
I
decline.
don't think this is one that I skip. When
this
do
is
a
one I would
rewatch.
probably skip.
Really?
Annoying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could not have someone do that to me while I was sleeping. It'd
No, I'd be like, get off
I'd be
me.
like, leave me alone. Go away.
Yeah.
But I
bat
mean,
them
I
away.
guess she's just so far out of it
Yep.
that she doesn't notice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about this. They have to go out and get woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
If it wasn't for these 2 red shirts, Ayana could have saved O'Neill. But no.
I know.
Except
I
for
wish...
Teal'c, doesn't she end up healing everybody and dying from it?
I'm pretty sure Jonas doesn't get sick.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Nicole?
Oh, I was just saying, I do actually wish that, because obviously he's going to become Jackson become a Tok'ra, sort of at the end of the episode. I do wish that he had a bit more time to meld with it or something. Simply because I think that if he'd been able to have a proper relationship with the Tok'ra symbiote, he could have had a bit less resentment and bitterness towards them, and I'm quite sad about that. So looking forward to getting to that, but sad.
So these or those ski dudes were custom built with plastic skis and hidden inline skate wheels, which allowed for a smoother operation on the studio floor while maintaining like a realistic appearance on camera. This episode also does sort of take some creative liberties with the Antarctic daylight. So while the exterior shots show like a sun-drenched landscape, we also see the crew venturing out into the darkness right there. So given that sunlight persists for 6 months in Antarctica, this day-night discrepancy is a little bit puzzling. So even Michael said another week or two, it'll be dark most of the time outside.
Yep. So. I have been at that time of the year in Alaska, and it's just like a couple of weeks away from them going completely dark.
I kind of love that.
Oh, I forgot she's understanding him now.
She does understand him. Like, she just doesn't really speak.
Yeah.
It's like her ancientness is coming back, and she's slowly like it's
she
like
just
her
doesn't remember her
healing.
ABCs, but she does remember, her.
I think
she
her
has
brain's
her abilities
starting to recall everything, and eventually she's gonna like maybe completely recover, hopefully, But again, not enough time.
Yeah, she doesn't remember. It's gone.
She doesn't know.
Oof.
Centrifuge. Good old centrifuge.
The centrifuge.
I just love saying centrifuge.
Yeah, me too.
Centrifuge is a fun word to say. I have to really concentrate on pronouncing it properly though, because it's just so early. Centrifuge.
Several million years, according to the Atlantis pilot.
Yeah. Search in the snow. Ugh.
Such in the soundstage.
Yeah.
Shivimi said, Ancients and the Nox sure learn languages at an incredible pace. Yes. For episode convenience, 40 minutes is not a lot of time.
That's it.
Exactly.
I would like a TV show where it's like a whole season of them trying to like learn the languages between each other. But that I know that will get quite boring. So at least like do like a flash forward a couple weeks going, hey, they learned some things.
It's one of the things that I wish the pilot had said when O'Neill meets Skara again. And Skara says, I do not think to be seeing you again. I wish O'Neill had said, you speak English now. He's like, yeah, it's Daniel.
Log Watcher, I don't know about the disease. I spent most of my time stamping chevrons into in the Stargate factory. I love that. That's good.
Stargate factory.
That's so cool. That's
okay.
I love that.
They do such a good job. It's very believable. So they've found him, but he's definitely not out of the woods.
Funny. Hilarious.
I thought so. I'll just laugh at my own joke.
Bit of freezer burn.
Can you defrost him like we defrosted you?
There's actually like a recent case apparently happened where somebody fell like face first into like a frozen lake, and like their whole body started like shutting down, and they kind of froze a bit, and they got like thawed and managed to survive without like losing their marbles, as in their brain was
their brains were they were under. So if you're referring to the breakthrough story,
I think it might have been that one. Yeah.
So they were frozen in just the right way.
So the little boy, his name was believe it or not, John Smith. He was underwater for 15 minutes. It was so cold that his body shut down, and he survived.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I remember reading about that, being like, whoa. And it's, there's like these there are these places I've seen in LA online where you can go and freeze yourself.
Yes.
Before you die, in order to maybe have a cure that brings you back later.
Cryogenics.
Yep. Cryogenics.
Yeah,
but the problem is
really
we can't unfreeze you successfully.
Yeah,
that's
so,
right.
At least not right now.
Yeah, so there were these parents who sent I think their daughter was terminally ill, and so they had her frozen, and then they were like, we're going to freeze ourselves when we become old enough, and but not too old. And that was a really interesting commitment.
Wow.
Magic, ancient powers.
And then his feet, all of a sudden.
All that freezer burn is gone.
That's so cool.
I assume it's just a light effect.
Gene Deanna Smith said something that I feel like it's from like Grey's Anatomy, because I always hear it from there, which is she said, as they say, they aren't dead until they're warm and dead, which is something. I think it's because Meredith ends up being frozen, but like they bring her back up to like the temperature she should be, and then they're like, right, she's not dead until she's warm and dead. So Roger Luther first showing up the healing power of the ancients. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Candy Mitch, kids are more likely to survive extreme cold temperatures compared to adults. I feel like because kids are like they're like a rubber band ball. They just bounce off of stuff, damaging themselves. Yeah, their resilience is insane. I love it.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this role would have been really hard. Because she's having to like channel everything through her expressions, so it must have been like pretty intense.
So
she does a good job.
In my interview with Anna on Gate World, she said that when she got the part, she was like, "No dialogue. This is going to be a piece of cake." And
it's hard.
It wasn't. She said it was one of the hardest things that she's done because she had to emote everything. So she wasn't going to just like play it off. She was seriously going to emote everything that she could through her performance. And
wow.
She did it.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
Do something.
Now can you do this one?
Yeah,
I know. I think I don't know.
I feel quite bad.
They're expecting a lot. They're expecting a lot from her.
She's an ancient juice box. They're just sucking out all that juice.
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
Well, they squeezed this one a bit too hard.
I think so too. I wonder if
what a waste of ancient.
She could have been saved had she had time to recover. Or if she really only had so much of her life force to give.
It's a bit of foreshadowing from Jack there. Maybe she can zap us all.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone but you, buddy.
Yeah.
She's going to run out of squeeze.
Yes.
Terrell's great in this.
Mm-hmm. As always.
So that's what it is. The virus itself kills her. That's what it is.
Probably also just extreme age and degradation. Maybe she just needs like a big glass of orange juice.
Yeah. Refill that juice box.
Keep up those electrolytes.
Yeah, they're good. You're on deck, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. He's been just a tad creepy. I know he's just feeling grateful, but yeah.
It's the glasses.
Yeah, I think it is the glasses. I was thinking that too. It's like the shape of the frame or something. I don't know. That sounds like a really gross generalization, but yeah, he's given off some creepy vibes. It's just like, yeah, be careful what you wish for, because with the ancients, first they giveth, then they taketh away.
Sleepy sleep.
Like,
Go
this
nighty
guy's
night.
actually like really hot though. I don't know what I think his glasses are working for me. I didn't mention it earlier. But
Oh, really?
I don't know why he wasn't reading a book,
Yeah. Also, when she goes to heal Janet, is there a tattoo on her shoulder? Like on Janet's? On the left shoulder? It's like there's something there. I was just curious as whether Terrell has a... No, it's wet? Like it looks...
She's wearing a watch.
No, I see what Evie's trying to say. It looks like there's a bit of a dark spot there.
Yeah, there's something there.
Could just be a skin condition. I hope it's a tattoo and not that.
No, I did pause.
I don't think Terrell has tattoos.
When I was rewatching it yesterday, I paused it and it looked more like that's what it was, but it might
Urias
not be.
Tosh said she's like the anti-Hathor. Goes around and like, touching you a little bit, but like it's in a nice, safe way.
Oh, that's funny. I forgot she could make people pass out. Yeah.
Woods isn't feeling normal.
Oh,
his name's
jeez.
Norm.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing the edge of the facility. That's cool. Makes sense.
Oh, the way she holds her hand. She went straight to holding her hand. She tried. So nice.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, Jack, it's Tokra o'clock.
It's Tokra time!
Tokra time! God, like, that gave me PTSD to Solitudes. Because it literally has, like, Teal down. You'll be like, you're going to be fine. Yeah, you're going to be fine. Like, while they're being put in the box.
See, what do they do with Jonas body? I don't think Jonas needed healing.
What about Francine?
Yeah, she got done.
She did?
She was like the first. Yeah, she was like the first to get done.
Oh.
What did they do with Ayana's body? Do they? Yeah. Do they like cremate her, or did they decide to like because her body's kind of contaminated, or do you think they gave her like a really cool burial?
I'd say
I suspect they cremated her.
I think they, yeah. I don't know. I would have thought they might have done.
I would love for them to have an urn of like an ancient urn situation and put her in like a really cool place just to honor the ancients.
Well, yeah, they probably did cremate her because they don't want to risk the disease spreading. But I meant, yeah, you'd want to do it quick because, the trust and stuff would want to get their hands on her.
Oh, absolutely.
So now we're whipping out those at PPE.
Oh, Urias Tosh said Stargate cremation. Yeah, go out in style. I do like that way of saying goodbye to the dead. I think it's a really cool because they do it for the. Is it with the Tok'ra they do it with in one of the next episodes?
You mean having a service?
Yeah, they have the service, but then they have the they open the Stargate and the Kawoosh.
Yes, the Kawoosh consumes them.
Yes, I think it was the Tok'ra.
Actually, that's
a cool way to go.
That's a good way.
If they do that with Ayana, no risk of any disease anywhere, and it's cool.
I think creation also means no risk. Yeah. You're destroying the cells. So.
GBME said Jack has a tough time in Antarctica. Not exactly a good track record going. No. I feel like you should stay away. You know, also next time he goes, you know, he ends up getting frozen. Then the next time he
does.
goes, nearly gets shot down while in a helicopter. Like, man needs to get away from the ice.
She knows she's dying.
She does.
Well, she got to help. Oh, she said sorry. It's so sad.
Gecko Fett Web. So she did heal Jonas, according to what Jonas said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, it's not your fault.
Your first.
I mean, you were kind of
loss.
expecting a lot from her, but
they had a really
nothing else that could be
dynamic.
done.
Yeah.
They did.
I like that. So Oma isn't necessarily like an ancient, you know, because the way she talks about them in season 8, like Daniel asks, and she's like, yeah, a couple of them are ancients. So implies that she's not exactly. But like,
I suspect that she is, but a couple of the others are not, because all civilizations have the ability to ascend.
Okay. So I always just thought about it as like, so Daniel got like to have Oma and have some sort of ancient connection, but Jonas got to make the cool discovery and be there for like the ancient found on Earth. I'm kind of sad for Daniel in that way.
Merlin knew Oma.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
Count Chancellor Toman. I wish we saw him more. We see him a couple of times.
Yeah, this is Dorian.
Like a harder edged Tok'ra. Yes.
Yeah, Dorian Harewood as Thorin. So we see him again in Abyss in 2 episodes' time.
Can I just say that he is looking fabulous in that outfit? Like, Tok'ra need to remember how to dress, and this man knows how to dress.
That's true.
I need them to bring their style back.
Yeah.
Also, has he done like a Whoopi Goldberg thing and shaved his eyebrows off?
Have to look
I don't think he has eyebrows.
Or are they invisible?
They could be really
my
subtle.
grandmother's. I mean, it's either death or symbiote for 5 minutes. God, he has no eyebrows. You're
I
right.
don't think he has eyebrows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. See, it didn't even notice. He's got a very strong brow ridge.
He does. He's still very expressive, even without the eyebrows.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We've only known you guys for 4 years. I'm not crazy about it. Even when the episode aired, I was like, I don't know if I would do it.
Well, you don't know if you'd become a Tok'ra? I'd much rather become a Tok'ra than die. That's I don't like death.
Well, their dubious relationship that Jack has with them is only proven, right in a couple of episodes.
It's true.
When he leaves O'Neill to avoid suffering.
Good enough for me.
Yeah. Well, what gets me is that, like, the Tok'ra kind of say that, he'll only have a symbiote for like a quote reasonable time, but like their concept of time is very different from ours because they literally live for centuries. So that could mean years.
Well, in terms of healing him, that's I think
they
that's
don't
what they're
want to
getting
mind
at.
meld them properly like they do for most like.
But what they're saying is that they're gonna meld them until such a time that they can find another.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, another willing host. It could be a while.
It's basically indefinite. Yeah.
Yep.
Because they've had trouble finding him a host anyway, which is why this situation has come up. So
I do really wish they explored this a little bit more. I know they like touch on it a bit in
afterwards. You mean?
Yeah. I wish
Jack's
that we got more of a conversation and Jack's experience because they don't talk about it enough as far as I'm concerned.
And it was just so traumatic. Yeah.
What the way that they did it as well.
My dead body.
They did it in such a way where like they really damaged the reputation between the Tok'ra and Jack, and I feel like the writers could have used this as the bridge to finally connect Jack and the Tok'ra to like have a better relationship. So I was quite infuriated by this choice, to be honest.
Within a reasonable amount of time.
Also, wait for the swelling music, Nicole.
I know. Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like
a
little bit too intense, and like it's a lot less subtle than Jack's nod right there.
That is such a subtle nod.
It's very subtle.
All these subtle nods.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm really bitter about how the show handled Jack's relationship with the Tok'ra, and I will never not be bitter about it. The whole Tok'ra Earth relationship, they really bungled that throughout season 6 and 7. I know it was already quite tough, but damn, did it feel like a waste.
This also would have been a great episode for Jeff Golka to come back.
Yes,
Thank you, my BFF 5 ever. It's his birthday, actually.
Oh, it is
coming up.
Oh, coming up.
Yeah, no, not today. It's coming up. No, wait, is it today? Shoot, hold on.
It's October the 20th.
It is today. Good. So I need to talk to him today about it. Oh my god, it is today, isn't it?
So his birthday is today.
Jesus.
All right, what a friend you are.
Jesus. I know.
The ancient plague featured in this episode does later become a point of speculation for Daniel, who suggests a potential connection to the Ori.
Yes, but it's never confirmed. I assumed that when the Ori story arc was interested, that it was something created by the Ori to wipe them out. But the Ori never knew where they were in the universe until Daniel and Vala phoned them. And then they were like, oh, now we know. That was Frozen. I got it right this time.
I'm just thinking, because I'm like, it's not Jeff's birthday today. It's not Jeff's birthday. I don't think it is. I think his birthday
is right.
Wherever you looked. I think it's the 23rd. Because we talked about this.
Oh, so we did. Yes.
I already gave him his birthday present yesterday. So I already did my
What game did you buy him?
What game did I get him? How did you know? I bought him Portal 2 because he's never played Portal.
Oh, okay. I think I've watched Adam play Portal.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's just
Portal's a great game. So Portal 2 you bought him?
Yeah.
He's never played Portal 2? You can't buy the first one. Why can't you buy the first one?
The first one is in the orange box. It's no longer really available new unless you go eBay.
What about Steam?
Problems. Jeff doesn't play PC, he's Xbox. So. I can't buy him for it on there. So
okay,
yeah,
very
but
good.
I think it's Wednesday. So
today is Wednesday. No, today is Sunday.
Yeah, you're scaring me.
Those are my 2 days off, Wednesday and Sunday. So it's either one of them because I'm sitting in this chair. So
you're scaring me. Okay, it's like let's talk about the episode. Why you terrify me?
This episode for me is a 5. Anna Grauer is wonderful in this episode. I love the series connections. We're picking up more from earlier in the show and making it more relevant, spiraling towards the end of the season, as it were. The performances are great, and the visuals are really cool with the exterior, with that wide shot as they pull back. In the snow. I think it's a 5. So I love the series connections in it. I love the expanding nature of the series mythology, which I think is really the big thing that drives it all home. So Yvie?
I don't like it as much as the previous episode. So I think by that, I should be probably voting at a 4. I think I'm going to go with a 4 out of 7. I definitely prefer Descent over this episode. Yeah. What do I want to say about this episode? This episode just mainly makes me sad because, you know how much I love Jack. And I just know that he won't be sort of as present moving forward after this episode. But I think they do handle his upcoming absence quite well. I think the fact that he has to basically his only hope is a Tok'ra symbiote, and he's like really dubious about them to begin with. But the fact that he essentially says yes because Sam begs him to, I think is what kind of gets me every time. I know. But I do love Ayana, and I think it's kind of sad that they weren't able to integrate her better into the series. I know that she appears in Atlantis, as we discussed, but I don't know. I also feel kind of bad for her character because you know, of all the things that they could discuss with her, or, you know, get out of her, they just use her for her healing abilities, and then she dies from it. Like,
She chooses to be fair.
I mean, she chooses, but I feel like almost Jonah's kind of like,
hey, we need you for this, but more than that, we want you to live.
and
But more than that, you need to heal Jack.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just like, just one more, I promise. I'm not sure whether Daniel would have handled it the same way.
Yeah. He's definitely filling the Daniel slot in that episode for those.
Kind of.
That's what I meant
lines.
with the ancient interaction thing with Jonas as well. That he got the big hang out with an ancient in real life moment. So.
But yeah, I meant the fact that she was an actual real life ancient, I don't know, just kind of like falls to the wayside a little bit. Like they don't really take it any further than that.
It's a fair point.
Stargate has a knack of getting cool stuff and going, we can't utilize this or it's going to break how our show works.
It's Stargate SG-1's version of, we can't get out of the Delta Quadrant this episode, but we're going to get really close to pretend to. And then,
it's almost,
we can't get back. It's the start, like for what they did in Voyager.
In my mind, it's almost kind of like the previous episode with getting a Hatag. You know, like it's dangled there right in front of us, you know, but we can't get both hands onto it. It just slips away, you know?
Always dangling.
It's kind of like that to me. Like there's a bit of a running theme between these two episodes. It's something
Stargate
really cool
always
that we've
needs
wanted
to
for a
lose
long time, and then it just slips through our fingers.
The strength of the protagonists is always modulated. To an absurd degree in Atlantis with how much power does Atlantis have? That it directly correlates to what we're capable of doing to stave off the threat of this week in many instances. So it's just how it is. So
no, go David. I haven't done my thing.
Do your thing.
So I would give this, I think, a 4. I think that it's a good time. It's got some good elements. I don't love it as much as I love the previous one or other episodes. I think that Ayana is wasted. You know, as in she has a cool episode, but like it's as we just said, Stargate doing that thing where you get a cool thing and then they go, we can't keep it, bye bye. Like Tormented Tantalus did it first, you know, like we lost all of that cool knowledge, but it's such a good episode that I'm like, I forgive you. It's okay. It's early days, you know, but we're in season 6. And I would love more Ernest. It was great. Like, you know, we could have squeezed a little bit more out of this. We are 6 seasons in. Come on, give me some more juice. Squeeze that juice box. So yeah, I think that this is just an episode that like has just that persistent problem for me.
It's one of the things that disappointed me about Atlantis with the opening sequence was kind of a telegraphed almost promise of learning more about her story. And what we do in Before I Sleep, you know, kind of answers that. We kind of answer more of the ancient story of what happened to the last generation before they returned to Earth. But that talks about the ones from 10,000 years ago, not the ones from millions of years ago.
And then we get new ancients, old ancients, who are like traveling real fast in season 3.
Those are the same ancients from 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying like,
the Aurora ones are different, but
we get ancients back. And then, oh no, poof, they're gone again.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. And they never share, you know, any information with us, like the names of the ZPMs or the names of the puddle jumpers. Probably power source and shuttle, but hey.
Honestly, where's the planet list? Like what they did last time.
When Anna appears in the pilot of Atlantis, she appears alongside her husband. I don't know if you guys knew that nugget.
Is that her husband? Were they having
her husband in real life?
Like real life.
They're having married in real life, having a marital dispute. Were they marital?
I don't think they were married in the show, but he's
like
really
giving
her a
that's how they got
scowling
divorced.
look, and that was, you know, that was they just left it. They left it vague, so we'll see.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm taking the house, and then he took the house and left her shed in the back.
Yeah,
so
I suspect he was probably a high chancellor. So.
Wow. Yeah, I would have liked more. I think some like ancient drama would have been like more fun, but yeah, we didn't get that. So I think I'm bitter.
Yeah.
I think I'm bitter about this episode.
We got more about the replicators than we did about the ancients.
Sure did. And
the ancients are the whole point of the Stargate. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's just I feel bad for judging this episode based on just the whole show doing stuff, but it's my irritability level at season 6 is just getting a little bit sour. So Nick, no, I think it's a 4 from me. I do love The Ancient though. I never skip this one. It's just kind of slow. I think that was my issue as well. It's kind of slow. Tosh, 4 chevrons. Ancient Lady gets 7 chevrons. She is beautiful. Anthony, this is a 3 for me. It's not favorite. Sometimes in a rewatch, I'll skip it. I say this was probably a 3 for me, and it bumped up to a 4. So I didn't say that Stargate with Friends is better. Lockwatcher, this is a 5 for me. Jonas and Ayana were great on the tech side. Always liked when they kicked up the heat, sound and lights. Disappointed that Jana's little flashlight could not save Ayana. Stuart says 4 chevs. Shimmer Victoria 6. I'm a Janet fan, so I'm always happy to see her. Yep. So Anthony said that earlier Jacob voted a 4 and Robin voted a 5 before they pieced out. And then they talk about how apparently we accidentally switched positions on the stream for a minute. Something happened technically. Between me and Yvie, don't know what happened. Gecko Fett, I dealt with it. Beautiful. I was thinking a 3, but watching it with you all, I'll give it an extra point because it made it more enjoyable. So 4 from me. Thank you, Gecko Fett. And Candy Mitch said a 7. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I like that. Jean Diard, it's a 2 from me. It's just so forgettable. Gasp. And Lockwatcher said, God damn it.
Oh, I saw that comment. I know the comment you're talking about.
The first episode today was decent because Descent. And the second one left me a little cold.
Ha ha ha.
There's some Edie level humor.
I was going to say that.
Oh God.
Man after your own heart.
Hot talk for one
I give
day.
That joke a 7 chevrons.
Yes. Dan Ben said 2 out of 7. It didn't have what I look for in an episode, so it couldn't entertain me. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think it's all right. By the way, yeah, I think it is Jeff's birthday on Wednesday. Based on the conversation I had with him the other day. Yeah, it's Wednesday.
I went back to the transcript with him, and he says my birthday is October 23rd.
Yeah, so we talked about it. You stressed me out. Well, you made my brain go, am I wrong?
I think he was talking about his wiki entry not being updated.
It's not. I think it's IMDb or something is wrong, and he's just not, But yeah. So I guess happy birthday to Jeff. If anybody wants to send good vibes.
Happy birthday to Jeff. So many birthdays this month. Like Adam's was on Tuesday. My auntie's was like 2 days after that.
My best friend was the 11th.
Lots of October. Yeah, lots of October birthdays.
And yes, his IMDb has been updated. So
yay! Miracles do happen.
Did he get new headshots?
Did he upload them finally?
Without a beard?
So Jeff has been. I just want to. Okay, I'm going to throw Jeff under a bus here, right? Let me see. Okay, so I just want to say that Jeff, about like a year and a half ago, did some photos and got some headshots. Oh, the ones on IMDb, no, those are old.
Oh, they're old. Okay.
The one on there of his face is old. Respectfully, as in, I just want to share this anecdote. He picked headshots like a year and a half ago. And then he still hasn't finalized them because Jeff is master procrastinator, my guy. Sorry, Jeff, for sharing that piece of information. It's just a very I hope you're okay with me sharing that.
All right.
Jeff and I compete for who can procrastinate the hardest in life. So
wow.
Yeah.
It's really good to know.
David, where are your TikToks?
Not worried about it. Just not worried about it. All right, gang. This has been good stuff.
This has been fun as always.
Yeah. So the next 2 weeks we are off, and then we return. Double check the local time. We will have it correct, but we are going in the U.S. We're moving it an hour earlier once the U.S. time changes. So my time will be affected in the United States and probably Canada as well. But in all other regions, if you change your time when the U.S. changes your time, we will be doing it an hour earlier. If you don't change your time when the U.S. changes its time, it will be normal.
So the UK changes its time October 27th, which is why I thought it was next weekend, because it is next weekend for the UK. So we change first this time. So yeah.
I just wish we would all get on Zulu time.
Yeah.
Sure, it may mean that some of us, the sunlight, the sun, comes up at 1400 hours, but whatever. Zulu is UK, I think.
I think it is because I remember bragging about it non-stop and being very insufferable during.
Sounds like something you
10
would
10
do.
p.m.
Yeah.
10 p.m. Mm-hmm. Oh, because that's GMT. So that is us. Next
Greenwich
week.
Mean.
Yeah, Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah, we're currently in British summertime, so British
summertime. Yeah.
Brag.
All right, gang. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you in a few weeks. Check back on dialthegate.com for the schedule. Thanks. So we'll see you soon. Adios.